Hi sis, I hope you can hear this and I hope you can see it. First of all, a little lesson in theory, and then I'll play you a simple little tune which hopefully you won't find too difficult to learn. First of all, how an octave. As you probably know, octave means 8. So 8 notes from C to C or F to F. That is an octave. Pick any note on the piano and hit the same note 8 notes up and you've got an octave. Scales I'll deal with very shortly. Now, you're probably familiar with the sight of what is known as a stave. That is the 5 horizontal lines which depict which notes you've got to play. But obviously you're probably not aware of the function of the stave. This squiggly little character here is the most commonly used in popular music, and it's called the treble clef, and it tells the instrumentalist or the singer which band of notes that they're going to be operating in, either singing or playing. Now if we look at the notes on the stave, we'll see we got C. By the way, that's C in case you didn't know. And then we got D, E, F, G, A, B. We're back to C again. And there you have your octave, or the 8 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the easy way to remember them is the notes that go in the spaces between the lines. F, A, C, E. You probably realise that it reads face upwards. And then you've got the notes that go on the lines, which is E, G, B and F. Oh, D, I forgot D, and then F. So they're the notes that go on the lines. Right, next bit. No doubt you are familiar with that song from The Sound of Music. Do, a deer, a female deer, Re, a drop of golden sun. So what we're going to use that do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, we're going to show that because in the key of C, we'll talk about keys in a minute. In the key of C you play all the white notes, and you'll notice that we ignored all the black notes. But if you follow this, D, do, we ignore that black note, re, ignore that black note, mi, and then we play the next note on, F, ignore that black note, so, ignore the black note, la, ignore the black note, T, and then the next one, D. So that is do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Now why I am showing you that is because you don't always play in the key of C. Sometimes you play in a different key, and the tune I'm going to play for you in a minute is going to be in the key of F. Now you're probably wondering what this little character is. That is sort of like a lowercase b, and it denotes that the note is flattened. So in other words, there's B. If you flatten the note, you go to B flat. That is known as B flat. Some of the popular tunes you'll find in the key of D, and there they use F sharp. So sharp means that you go up a semitone. By the way, they're called tones, and these are semitones in the key of C. Now, looking at what notes you would have to play in the key of F, you don't play all the white notes in the key of F. It shows there that you've got to play B flat. So going back to this do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, you got do. We're starting off on F, it's not C, we're starting off on F. So do, skip that note, re, skip that note there, mi, but we've got to go to the very next note in the cue, which is there, which is B flat. Then we skip the next note and go so, skip the next note, la, skip the next note, T, and we're back to F. So the key of F, these are the notes you would predominantly play. And a similar function with the key of D. We'll go back to the do, re, mi. So do, miss, re, miss, play the next note, fa, miss, so, miss, la, miss, ti, do. So it looks like I've got that one slightly wrong, so I'm going to amend it now. Spot the deliberate mistake. So in the key of D, I forgot to do a D flat or a C sharp. So F, A, C, and that's got to be sharp. So that means, going back to the key of F, any note you find on this line has got to be B flat. And any notes you find on this line have got to be F sharp. And any notes you find on this, and any notes you find on this space have got to be C sharp. So going back to the key of D again, and then you got your do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So that is just a very brief introduction into keys. I'll probably go into it deeper at some later stage. Right, so far so good, I think. Now we come to chords. If you play 2 or more notes at once, it's called a chord. And the chords which you'll be using in this song, this tune I'm going to play for you, first one of the chords is F. So when you play them all together, it's called a chord. And then you've got G minor, and then another chord is D minor. Oh, I've forgotten what D minor is. Oh, that's D minor. And then another chord is B flat. But when you play the notes of a chord one after the other, when you play the notes one after the other, that is called arpeggio, and it comes from the Latin word, the Italian word arpeggiare, which means to play the harp. Now, as you notice here, I've put down what these notes actually are here, and there's another bit of terminology which you can bear in mind. You don't have to learn this all at once. There's a thing called the root note of a chord, and that is the note that the chord is based on. So that chord is based on the note C. That note, which is this chord F, is based on the note F. But we'll go into more detail about chords at a later date. But hopefully when we do get that far, if we get that far, then you'll remember that I mentioned the word root note of a chord. Right, okay, I'm going to play you that simple little tune, providing I don't make a mistake in playing it, because it's a long time since I played it. And this is one that I made up when I was about 11 years old on Grandad's piano. Right, here goes, if I can remember it. And that'll do for today.